Welcome to my CompTIA Network Plus N10-006 question review. Here we're looking at questions 21 through 25. So, what's a man in the middle? What's an evil twin? And what are some of the dangers? So, a man in the middle is typically an event that occurs when between a user and like a server, for example. The man in the middle allows you to push traffic through them to capture everything. An evil twin does the same general thing, but the evil twin is more on hardware. And what I mean by that is, let's say you go to Starbucks and you connect to Starbucks' network. How do you really know it's Starbucks? They could have an evil twin acting as a man in the middle. What I mean by that is, someone could bring up their own wireless access point, name it Starbucks, and have it more powerful than the actual Starbucks network. That way, you, the user at Starbucks, will connect to the evil twin, or the more nefarious Starbucks access point. Why? So that they could do what's called man in the middle. They can funnel all the traffic through that device and document it and review it later. PDUs, what do they operate at? So if we're looking at a segment, you should remember that that operates at layer 4. If we're looking at a packet, that operates at layer 3. If we're looking at a data frame, a frame, that operates at layer 2. And if we're looking at bits, we're looking at layer 1. Understand that XR and TX are transmit and receive, and when we're looking at transmit and receive, we're looking at error rates also, reliability for them. So if we are transmitting and there's a high error rate for transmission, the receiver should not be getting any of them, because those will be an error transmission. So just kind of keep that in mind. Or if I'm receiving a lot of errors and on the sender side, their transmission rate isn't showing any errors, well then I'm going to have an issue on my receiving side. So you can look at error rates for the sender side, that'll be transmissions, or you can look at error rate on the receiver side, and that will be the receiver portion. Differences for switches at layers 2 and layer 3. A layer 2 switch deals with frames. A layer 3 switch deals with IPs. And at layer 3, they can do what's called a switch port interface that allows you to do routing. Routing operates layer 3 based off of IP addresses. A layer 3 switch can do that. Understand the different types of IGPs, gateway protocols. If we're looking at, that should be EGP, external gateway protocols, and internal gateway protocols. Understand that internal protocols are going to be OSPF, EIGRP, RIP, and BGP can operate internally, and that would actually be called IBGP. If we're looking at external gateway protocols, BGP is the big one, or eBGP. If we look at what's running the internet, it's all eBGP. At that point, you're not going to be calling it external BGP, you're just going to refer to it as BGP. Alright, so, trending wireless technology. Understand that wireless security is always going to be a concern, but connectivity, when you have like a large warehouse or a stadium, wireless meshes are going to be more common. And that is, let's see if I can get my pen going. Let's say you have these access points. What happens when you can't run cable to them? You can actually start getting where each of the access points have a little bleed over That way the access points can communicate with one another, and that's going to be that wireless mesh. So typically, you want the signal strength to be great enough so that the access points can touch the other access points. Lastly, we now have a new protocol called LWAPP, Lightweight Access Point Protocol, and that allows for better communication between those access points. Lightweight Access Point Protocol is the name of the protocol that can control multiple Wi-Fi wireless access points at once. This helps to reduce the amount of time spent on configuring, monitoring, and troubleshooting large wireless networks, such as like a stadium. Alright, that's these 5 questions. If you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment below and I'll get those answered as quickly as I can. Thank you.